Got some new fan art. It's coming in faster than I can release it at the moment, but I can assure you I have it all saved on my drive. Some of it I might even get framed in my house. Also, I started a channel called Telltale Science, and I've decided to upload on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So we've made it through a good portion of this JW broadcasting episode from March. This is the second to last video in the episode. The more I watch, the more interesting it gets to me. Just can't put this shit down. And another JW broadcasting episode just came out, but I don't want to ignore other cults, so I'll be moving on to another cult soon. This material is just too good to pass up. So we're gonna take one more look at this JW broadcasting episode. Let's get into it.
I have an illness that affects my level of energy, so I didn't feel that I could accept just any kind of assignment.
Since the end of this system is near, I want to do whatever I can that Jehovah wants, down to the very end. So I applied.
Before attending SKE, when I received my invitation, all of a sudden I had challenges or worries about myself. I felt unworthy, even unqualified.
Being a single sister going into the class with so many couples, I thought I would be out of place.
So here we have a bunch of people talking about joining SKE. That stands for School for Kingdom Evangelizers. I feel like they're doing a disgusting disservice to society by calling it a school. But it's basically a training program that Jehovah's Witnesses are pushed into joining to teach people how to be pioneers. Let me read this little blurb from their website about it. School for Kingdom Evangelizers. This 2-month school is designed to train experienced pioneers who are willing to leave their home area to serve wherever they're needed. They say, in effect, "Here I am, send me," in imitation of the greatest evangelizer who ever served on earth, Jesus Christ. Moving far from home may involve having to adapt to a simpler standard of living. The culture, climate, and foods may be totally different from what one is used to. It may even be necessary to learn a new language. This school helps single brothers and sisters and married couples ages 23 to 65 to cultivate the spiritual qualities they will need in their assignment and the skills that will enable them to be used more fully by Jehovah and his organization. A few things I want to address. First, I wanted to explain what a pioneer is. There are different levels, and these numbers might have changed since I was in it. But as far as I can remember, an auxiliary pioneer signs up for a single month, basically agreeing to get 50 hours in that month of knocking on doors, writing letters, general evangelizing. Pioneers sign up for 50 hours per month for a full 12 months. And special pioneers, as far as I can remember, were 70 hours in a month for a year. So this is a training camp for pioneers. Teach them to knock on doors and such. It actually gives them some useful skills. At least the Theocratic Ministry School gave me some useful skills when I was younger. They give you this red book when you got baptized, which was all about public speaking. Taught me how to speak to a crowd, how to stand, how to keep eye contact, how to put confidence in my voice, that kind of thing. That book was falling apart by the time I was done with it. But as far as I can understand, they did away with that a while back, which is kind of a shame. The second thing I wanted to address is their bit in there about Jesus. I don't know that I'd call Jesus the greatest evangelizer. I can think of a few evangelizers who are probably a lot better than he was, if he even existed, which I doubt. Jim Jones of the Jonestown cult was a pretty good evangelizer. Marshall Applewhite of Heaven's Gate was pretty good. People didn't start to follow Jesus until long after he died. People didn't start to follow Jesus until long after the dude allegedly died. So that's one claim I'd like to challenge. They also tie it back into the Bible verse, Isaiah 6:8, where it says, "Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, 'Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?' And I said, 'Here I am, send me.'" They love slipping these Bible verses in to make it seem more legit, like they're actually relying on the Bible for any of this. That is a cherry-picked verse if I have ever seen one. They're using a verse in the Bible from a chapter that starts out kind of strange. I tried to read the chapter before it for context, but it didn't really relate to the chapter at all. So it's Isaiah chapter 6, and it starts out by saying, "In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord, high and exalted, seated on a throne, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Above him were seraphim, each with 6 wings. With 2 wings they covered their faces, with 2 they covered their feet, and with 2 they were flying, and they were calling to one another." It goes on from there. Sounds a little like a hallucination to me, but what do I know? So he continues on to describe this hallucination, or whatever. And a few verses down he says, "Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, 'Whom shall I send? And who will go for us? And I said, Here I am, send me.'" So basically, this is a verse about presumably Isaiah hallucinating or dreaming or something about God preparing to send somebody on some kind of mission. And he wanted to be a part of it. I guess Jehovah's Witnesses' goal here was to make it seem like the society speaks for God and are trying to send people to various places through this school for kingdom evangelizers. I've said this before, but the society likes to blur the line between the terms Jehovah and the governing body. Anyways, let's move on to the rest of their little description. They also said this school helps single brothers and sisters and married couples ages 23 to 65 to cultivate the spiritual qualities they will need in their assignment and the skills that will enable them to be used more fully by Jehovah and his organization. I'm actually surprised they said Jehovah and his organization instead of just Jehovah, but whatever. So they said this is for single people or married couples. So there are two main categories excluded from the program. You can't be married to somebody, but only one of you go to the school. They don't want to split up families. And the other category would be unmarried couples. They would never accept that. Okay, let's continue.
頭の思考力がもう最高の
I used all my abilities. I felt like my head was swelling up. Even so, I felt that I was really being refined and ended each day feeling fulfilled.
Something that I really enjoyed about SKE was Friday afternoons. That's when we had a talk from one of the governing body members.
So this video was heavily reviewed and guided by the governing body members. I find it extremely interesting that they're encouraging a certain level of veneration of themselves. I would never do or say something so arrogant, so completely full of pride as they did in this video. They make this big deal out of humility, but look at how they prop themselves up in their propaganda. They mark themselves as God's chosen people, the voice of God himself. It's disgusting. Let's move on.
When I was told that my next assignment would be in Mesa, Arizona, I thought, where is that? And then I thought, oh no, scorpions. And then I thought, okay, this is where Jehovah thinks I should be, so I'm ready to go. I always thought that I'd do much better in cold than I would in heat. So the brothers and sisters were very helpful in making sure that I stayed hydrated, making sure I knew how to handle myself in the heat, giving me pointers of things to carry, and they made sure that I had an extra large water bottle with me.
So what's the point here? What are they trying to get across? Once again, they're using Jehovah and the society interchangeably. This is where Jehovah thinks I should be, so I'm ready to go. They're saying you shouldn't do any complaining, even if it's somewhere that's completely outside your realm of comfortability. Even if you have a medical condition, no exceptions. You should accept what they tell you to do without question. We saw them communicating this same message in another video they did in the 2018 convention leaks about changing kingdom halls. A woman saw that somebody was being separated from their family. The society was sending a grandmother to one congregation and their kids to another. Of course, they made a big deal about how we should accept the society's instructions no matter what. Does somebody really wonder if Jehovah's Witnesses would take an unknown pill if instructed by the society? It would be another Jonestown massacre, no question.
We really felt supported by the congregation because they found us an apartment. This meant that we could concentrate on our ministry.
One of the things that really helped me was an experienced brother who gave an encouraging comment about whether my health would permit me to attend the school. He said, if she can pioneer, then it's also possible for her to attend the school.
Once again, they're trying to say that you should be doing this at any cost and accepting the instructions no matter what they are, even if you have medical conditions. No exceptions. So as we discussed, the school's a training camp to teach people how to knock on doors and shit. Then apparently they ship you out to different parts of the world where the need is great, to use their own words. I know they used to give a stipend to missionaries, which is where people would go to Africa or remote countries and try to spread their bullshit. But as far as I know, they've cut back on that a lot because they're so short on money. So I'm guessing they don't give stipends to these people. Anyways, I'm getting on a plane tomorrow to go to Dallas to speak at Faithless Forum. I wanted to get this recorded before I left so I wouldn't have to use a shitty microphone in the hotel. So that's all I've got for you guys for now. By the time this releases, I might be back home. There are probably videos of me at the conference, so go check those out. And don't forget to follow my new channel, Telltale Science. And follow me on Discord, Patreon, and Facebook. Thanks for watching, guys. Go away, kitty, you're interrupting.